The Lance Wallnau Show is coming at you live from the Master himself, with a special broadcast taken from one of Lance's most recent appearances. Tune in and get ready for some major revelation.
I come home, and all of a sudden, I start getting boxes delivered to my house. I got boxes, and I'm picking them up at the front door. And I have a serious ministry, mind you. I'm trying to, change the world here, and I keep going to the door to answer FedEx and box. She's buying pillows, mattresses for kids,
winter coats,
and kids that don't have beds.
Clothes.
So I start piling them up. I recreated the Alamo right in my house. I just piled up from Texas. And I went online because I do social media.
Oh my God.
And I said, you guys got to see what my wife's doing some crazy thing here. I'm getting boxes. So I made her move it all out of the house and get a warehouse. And then we got like another warehouse and another warehouse. We ended up with like 6 warehouses.
Oh my God.
Is it 6?
It will be.
Yeah.
It's 5 right now. Actually, we want to be on the same land. So we're praying, like our ministries are 5 miles apart. Like 5 miles from my house is mine, and the other direction, his is 3 miles. But it's nice to be able to run back and forth all the time, right? But we don't work on the same land. So we would like to do that. Anyway, I'm really feeling like the Lord's telling me a family that we ministered to for 4 years, their house just burnt down Sunday. Her name is Sunday, S-U-N-D-Y, the mom, S-U-N-D-E. And then she has 2 daughters. Anyway, I just keep looking at that pile of money. Yesterday, I called, like, I'm a switchboard operator. That's what I do. I run the whole thing over my phone. That's why I could travel with Lance and still run this thing with my friends, my people, my employees. Anyway, the thing about it is, one of our partners, they have a boutique. They got all the clothes for the 9-year-old, the 11-year-old, and the 37-year-old mom. And then our son and our friend picked them up and took it. And they need everything. They lost everything in their fire. You know what I mean? So thank you. A lot of that's going to help them.
I mean, what I'm trying to
Probably
say is...
Probably all of it.
And really, it's beautiful, honey. The message is that I wanted to really get across to you is, you could literally be sitting here in church for years, stopping by here for a service now and then, and I don't care, you could be north of 50, you could be 60, and suddenly, you might need to hear a testimony now and then of somebody that just had a desire to do something that had no formal training, no backing, no board, no budget, just a desire to go along with what Matthew was saying, just the desire to see a solution to a problem. And then the whole universe seems to mobilize around you as you go forward one step at a time. And as you take those steps, I'm watching it happen, and it's kind of a bit of a mystery. So she starts saying to me, and she just says to me, well, I need a truck. I go, my gosh, Annabelle, and I'm seeing where this thing is going because it keeps on expanding. I go, when you say you need a truck, what do you mean? Like a van? She goes, no, like a truck. I got to deliver all this stuff I'm getting.
26 foot, anyway.
I need a 26-foot vehicle.
Bare minimum.
I go, 26-foot truck. Well, how much does that? It goes, I don't know. Well, we need it.
So our son Lance said you should tell David Nolan because he might be selling his Alpha Warrior truck. And so he did. He brought the price way down, $32K.
The point is that, and it's just a mystery. I just want to unpack it because we're Pentecostal prophetic people, but every now and then you have to hear the practical testimonies of how this stuff works. So I know that when she starts talking about she needs a truck, if she repeats it several times, I get nervous because I know it's coming into my driveway. I got to figure out what to do with it.
There's an HOA where we live. It's a little tacky.
Yeah, and our homeowners association a little freaked out with us right now. But sure enough, man, that truck shows up. Now it's got the 26-foot truck.
So again, guess what happened next? So then we were on a show, and he was asking me to say what I needed because I said, well, we do need a 16-foot box truck, and we do need a trailer because you don't always need to send an empty 26-foot truck to pick up a donation. And so somebody who saw the show called up Colin and Barbara, and they gave us their trailer. Well, the only thing we could attach it to is my, GMC Acadia. So that's the car I drive. So my drivers, they work hard. They sweat. My seatbelt smelled like BO every day when I got my car back. And I was like using thieves and cleaning it. And I just said, God, is this my portion? Am I gonna have to wear their BO? I'm a clean freak, I can't take that. I shower every day, So guess what? A week later, after I had that little convo with God, my friends, Rhonda and Gideon, whose son, Joel, was here at your guys' rehab, BFFs in my prayer oikos, they say, Annabelle, do you want this white town and country van or do you want $5,000? What would you like? I was like, what? A choice, wow. I'll take the van. So anyway, that's what I drive. I drive that van, and then our GMC is using all the time. And who cares what it smells like? I don't have to drive it.
Not till now did I understand what happened to our car. Okay, I see. Because I'm thinking, why do we have a white one in the driveway? We bought a red vehicle.
Well, we're still making payments on the red van, but it's working.
Anyway.
The car is working. It's a working vehicle, honey.
It is. Okay. So, and I'm happy for this, as you can see. But what's interesting is...
I tell them everything, but some husbands have selective listening. They only can hear this much because they're busy.
I'm thinking about what Matthew said. So then she goes, but my girls, this is like, we have to get a plan. She goes, my girls, you understand. She's walking to like Burger King and she needs a car. That's her mom. So she's helping her mom. Started with beds, then it became furniture, then it became
cars.
Paying the rent and getting them cars.
I'm not allowed to pay the rent anymore.
I told her to stop paying the rent. I found out about that. I said, what are you doing? She goes, well, when they can't make rent, someone has to cover it, so I do. I go, you can't do that.
Yeah, it was...
Stop that. How much have we done? We cut off the damage. I said, from now on, no, we'll get them jobs and cars. You're not going to suddenly become the rent person. You can imagine that word gets out in the street. Call Annabelle. She'll pay your rent. And she's crazy enough to do it, so... I have to say something right now that is so interesting. When I'm traveling around, people say to me, Lance, you're going to do another dream trip? A dream trip, for those of you that don't know what it is like a special getaway that we've done for maybe 14, 20, maybe 18, 20 times to an exotic foreign location with 100, 200, or 300 of my students and business partners, et cetera, to analyze one area or two areas of life where the dream of God must become manifest. Could be career, relationship, marriage, physical health, breakthrough. And we always bring in subject matter experts. Now, I'm telling you, we haven't been able to do one for a while because of COVID and election cycles and such, but now's the time for a massive dream trip reunion, June 20th, through 22nd in Carlsbad, California, right near San Diego. Go to lancewallnau.com/dream trip because it's already filling up. It's going to be an amazing time. And that's just one part of the agenda and a few secret guests I'm not going to tell you are going to be there. That's going to be June 20th to 22, Carlsbad, California, San Diego. God's talking to me now about what he wants to do. And that means it's going to be explosive. lancewallnau.com/dream trip. Get into this one before it fills up.
Yeah, but as much as Lance says that, Lance put his foot down, right? And so no more rent for 8 months. So then one of my single moms who's 17.
No more rent permanently, not 8 months.
No, it was 8 months later. Then I said to Lance, Adriana can't pay her rent and she's getting evicted and she's got a 1-year-old. Now, if she gets evicted, she had told me she has nowhere to go. Will you lend her the money? No, absolutely not. What do you think I am? I go, well, I just want to tell you, she's going to go. Where's she going to go? We don't know. So I just want to ask you if she could borrow it. She's offering to pay it back. I would say Adriana is one of my best workers because she comes to so much her time and she helps fix up the furniture because we don't get all brand new stuff. We buy secondhand. Like I'm a hunter, I'm a shopper. So I get this stuff and we fix it up good as new or as good as it can and we put it in the homes. So he goes, well, how many months is it going to take her to pay it back?
It's not that bad. I mean, you make it. It's never that way.
Well, at first it was, but I'm just showing you because here's what happened. Then he goes, well, and then I leave the room because I'm thinking, oh my God, this is the wrong conversation. So then I come back later and he goes, well, I was thinking about Adriana. What if we ask her to try to pay it back by December and she can come that many times and work it off? And I said, really? I was so shocked. And so, but he's really right a lot of the time. So what happens with Adriana, she does really good 4 times in a row. She comes 4 weeks in a row and then she has no way to get there. So now I'm sending Lyft to drive her. Plus I have to pay her. Yeah, it's expensive to be me, okay? So ended up, she cancels 3 times. Thailand went to pick her up twice. She wasn't there. Different things. I don't tell you those things. But anyway, So we're back in the loop. We're rescheduling all the final payments because she wants to pay us back. You know, she had the nerve to ask me to pay her phone bill in between all this non-payment plan. And I did tell her that you...
Do you hear that?
No,
she
no.
asked you to pay her phone bill.
Right.
Do you understand why I am the way I am?
Yeah. Well, I was given a little bit of facts so they'd understand why you are that way and why I put that voice on you, because that's the voice of reality right there, yeah? But anyway, these moms need phones. I told her, if I can't reach you, how am I going to get you to work? So you know what? I did pay her phone bill, and she did pay me back. And she is coming to work this week, and she's so skinny that you wouldn't even believe she can actually function with that skinny of a body. In fact, Terry just saw her. She said, what happened to... She goes, I think Adriana's using. I go, Terry, Adriana doesn't have any food in her refrigerator. That's what Adriana isn't. She's like, I don't know, Annabelle. So Terry's my social worker. She knows way more than me. But anyway, the point of it is, I don't believe she's using. But I do believe she's coming back to work this week. Anyway, the thing of it is, it's a situation. We want to get a 7M village, a 7M city. We want to have, it's like a...
This is what concerns me. So every time she gets these visions, she starts talking about them, and then stuff starts happening.
Let me tell you how powerful this is. We just got $670 online for Annabelle and for this outlet. Why don't you just go sit down? Why don't you just go sit down?
I'm going to feed her lines here.
No.
Wait, what do you want? I can't hear you.
He wants you to preach. Go ahead. But go ahead and tell...
Stay up here, though.
He says take over. So what she says to me is, she goes, I got a microphone. She goes, I want a city. And I'm going, oh my gosh. Because you see, she doesn't have any sense of realism. But I've noticed that God gives her what she wants.
I want to make it like a kibbutz.
So, now listen, but then we go with these cars. Matthew was talking about what I saw, you know. So next thing I know, the girls need cars. So we start getting cars.
3 so far.
Yeah, but then, you know, this is like reality TV, like the BO smell. Let me tell you the other side of the story. The cars. We got to get more discipleship going into our girls here.
That's a big thing.
This is crazy, because what happens is, she's reluctant to tell me stuff because I'm like dad. And
I tell you everything.
I know, but the reluctance is there. I can see it. She goes, well, I'm afraid to tell you. I go, what? She goes, well, one of the girls has the car, but the daughter is kind of like snitched on her and said her boyfriend has taken her car, the car you got her, and has taken off with the car, which means she doesn't have the car because her boyfriend took off with it.
Right, because she bought a car and she didn't tell me.
Annabelle's got here's the funny thing. Annabelle's team, I probably shouldn't say all this, but I think it's all part of the testimony. A lot of them are ex-cons that are working with her. So it's a great demographic combination here.
They're not all ex-cons.
Because she's got these guys working with her, and their solution to the problem is to go steal the car back again.
Now it's gone to 1,600 online for Annabelle.
So I'm saying, no, we're not going to have your ex-cons stealing cars, okay?
So we bought this thing you put on the car.
They're having a team meeting. This is what the ministry's thinking, how to steal the car. These guys, we'll take care of it, Annabelle. We know how to do this part.
We put this product that's like low jack. Now we have those installed on all the cars we give away. So in case they get stolen, we'll know right where they are.
Yes, we spy on our own inventory.
Well, the reason, okay.
Now, how did you get the car back?
Full disclosure. Oh, because he came over and I happened to drop the car. No, listen, the car happened to die.
They took the car while he was visiting.
No, that's not true. The car died. And they said, Miss Annabelle, that car you gave me is broken. I said, oh, it is? Yeah. Would you come get it? I said, oh, I sure will. It cost $5,000 to fix it back up again, but that's a Toyota Corolla, man. That thing's good for a long time.
$5,000?
That did not come out of your purse, don't worry. The thing about it is, look, Toyotas go on forever. You don't just kill a Toyota because I only had 120,000
So then
miles.
she said, so anyway, then my team, who's a little more rational, comes to me and goes, you realize, now that we heard the story about Annabelle's, car theft ministry over there, goes, you realize you're liable. If one of those boyfriends takes off, has an accident, does something, you're starting a fleet of cars is coming through you.
No, it's not that. It's because we were paying the insurance. That's why.
Right.
Okay.
So it's our liability. So we had to start a car ministry, a car company.
Carpe diem.
In order to put the cars, so I don't end up becoming sued if something happens to the vehicles. Anyway, the point is, then she says to me, she goes, I think God wants to give me a city. I go, oh, come on, Annabelle.
Well, because 4 years ago, he told me that he's going to give us 100 acres. And I'm only asking for a 5-acre proof of concept amount of land right now, because I feel like with these little tiny houses and RVs and mobile homes, we can make affordable housing. There isn't any affordable housing where we live. These girls get in these apartments in these programs that are half price, and there's no way they can almost even hardly afford half price. In 12 months, when it's full price, they get evicted. Here we go again. So these cycles of poverty are affecting the children. These guys were talking about how this is cellular in children, all this trauma. It's going to be with them. That trauma doesn't just come off like that just because, oh, now we're in a new apartment. No, there's things that are going to be pulling them backwards. We got to get this next generation established. Established.
So.
But it would be more like a kibbutz, not like it would be a big exporter of agriculture, et cetera, but everyone will have a job. And that I would like us to own the land and let the people own their little homes. And these homes will be under $50,000.
I think this is a reality TV show, like Duck Dynasty.
Your life is a reality TV show.
I think I should just film what Annabelle's doing. And
it is fun. And we do laugh a lot.
It is crazy. Now, I'll tell you what, another thing. So she gets a worker that's dying. Her and her girlfriends, when they get the Holy Ghost praying on their Zoom calls, those Pentecostal prayer warriors, they won't let people die. So I'm like one of the guys on the team, his liver's shot.
No, it was his pancreas.
Pancreas.
And then his liver, he had double pneumonia.
Then double pneumonia, and then his liver, and he had been alcoholic.
His liver is fine. Quit mentioning the liver.
But he was alcoholic, right?
Yeah. He got delivered.
That messes with your liver.
38
but
days
he
in a
gets
coma.
delivered. My point is he gets delivered from alcohol.
He's my manager.
And so he's the manager.
See, it's a ministry. I'm telling you, the guy's amazing. He just needs to get delivered out of alcoholism.
He's in with double pneumonia.
He's under
in the
2 months
hospital
ago. He got
on a
out of
ventilator. He's out. Anyone else would have said, because I could hear my religious thinking. Well, when he came over to Annabelle, he needed to get saved. He got saved.
You just got to get rededicated.
God healed him.
Yeah.
God delivered him.
Backslid.
God blessed him. He was so backslid. God gave him that second chance. Got right with God, but now it's like his body's shot and he's ready to go. Annabelle goes, absolutely not.
There's no way God gave him to us for 1 year for him to die. We worked on him a long time. There's no way it's going to heaven that fast.
She's looking at this like, look, I've invested a lot of prayer into you. You're not dying now.
No.
You got a lot of work you got to do.
Well, what happened to him was actually he was in a coma, and you don't usually hear maybe, but you don't see. He saw the DNR on his wrist. It just means do not resuscitate.
Do not resuscitate.
He saw that little wristband.
He saw it on his body.
And after he heard his family from Rhode Island, when we used to live in Rhode Island for 20 years. And so, as a kindred spirit, et cetera, he heard all of them there. And he was like, why are all these friends here, the families here? They're all saying goodbye. Wonder what they're doing. You're in a coma. That probably don't really know. But then he said he actually saw that little DNR. He thought, DNR. This is me. This is my body. They're here for me. I must be dying. No way am I dying. And then he told God that he would accept the call of God on his life while he was there in that moment. And his grandfather received his high calling at age 42. And he said, I'm going to be like my grandfather, and I'm going to do whatever you want. I'll even talk in public. That's what he said. Scared to death to take a microphone. He's like this. Anyway, he's a beautiful man of God. Anyway.
All right, so what I was going to say today, and now my time's almost up. is, I got to give you a verse. I'll put it up here on the whiteboard. Then I'm done. I never really got where I was going to go, but that's okay.
Sorry.
No. It's between you and Coletti. You're a combination package. I'll tell you. This is like my tribe on both sides. You and him.
Okay, if I sit down.
Yeah, just give me 1 second to get this out of my system.
Okay.
You can stay right here. Stay right here. Stay right here. John 12:26. This is the verse the Lord wanted me to give you here. John 12:26. But it's a very powerful verse. This is the illustrated sermon. What is happening with my friend Matthew and their entire nation that they're creating within a nation is a much more profound story than I think any of you really have gotten hold of yet. This is literally, can a nation be born in a day? We're watching nations be born in a day. When Abraham and Sarah, my forefathers, were told that out of these shall kings come, well, this man's a president. He's a king. He's a tribal chief. That's the equivalent of a king. And nations shall come of thee. I'm watching the fulfillment of a nation and a king in answer to the prophecy to Abraham and Sarah happening right there. And as I was saying yesterday, the prophetic anointing, the anointing hit me. The Jewish people, when they were in Egypt, they had experienced over 400 years worth of slavery and abuse. But when the hour came for their deliverance, God reached back and took all that was stolen and gave it back in a one lump payment. Woo! And began to, as they exited, to go create the nation God gave them. Amen. And there's something in that. As Annabelle's talking about this 7M city, this is a 7-mountain city, which is a city for these moms and these kids, and it's a prototype community for the future. But how did that happen? I'll tell you how this happened, and how this Annabelle, Matthew, and this is the parallel I want all of you to catch as I hand this off. Jesus says, if any man serves me, let him follow me. And where I am right now, there shall my servant be also. And if any man serves me, him will my Father honor. So let's unpack that for a second. Moves of God typically are people going to where they see the activity, the cloud. But if you were with Whitfield during the days of the Great Awakening, you could see out on the horizon where the cloud was, the Cain revival. You taught me this. I came out to go see the Cain revival. People could see for miles where the horses were kicking up the dust as people went out there. But the point is, the cloud indicated there was activity going on. But the revivalists, Whitfield, Wesley, Finney, by the time you get there, they may already be on their way to the next town. You chase the cloud, but what you want to do is you want to be where Jesus is. You don't want to be where Jesus was. So a lot of people are camping out on the nostalgia of previous moves of God, language, parallels. The way we see the world is shaped by a previous move. But actually, Jesus is already someplace. A lot of people, he's inviting them to go, but nobody's there yet, so very few people want to go. Few people want to pioneer into the next thing God is doing because nobody's there. However, Jesus is in certain countries, certain places, certain issues, certain areas. And the reason why this is important is, if any man serves me, let him follow me. And where I am, where he is where you want to be. And if you're apostolic or prophetic, you're where he is pioneering something. You're in the first group that gets there. And God is doing a new thing. How many times have you heard that? Well, if it's new, people have to follow him into something that doesn't exist yet. You're creating a future. You're manufacturing that future. So, but the key here is, and there shall my servant be. And if any man serves me, so where I am, where I am. This is so key. Where I am. And so you have to ask yourself, Jesus, where are you right now in my life? Because if you'll join him there and serve him there, then he says, him shall my Father honor. Now this is powerful. When we talk about the force of favor, like what's happening here, it's so beautiful to see Coletti, want Annabelle up here. It's the favor of God on her that causes him to sense the favor that's there and adjust things around. And then the provision comes for the favor. The word for favor, technically, is such a powerful word concept. Favor is the attraction of God to you that releases a supernatural influence through you so that other people become attracted to you to cooperate with you in the assignment God gave you. Favor is a supernatural attraction of God. The word favor, always in the Bible, mysteriously is drawn to somebody. Why was it drawn to David? Probably because David was out there in the wilderness plucking away with his harp and singing. His attitude towards God drew God. Mary, thou hast found favor with God. Something in Mary attracted God's presence. And when God's presence came, his favor came on. Favor is always associated with an assignment. So you want to hang out with Jesus till you find out what the assignment is. If you'll serve the assignment, he'll give you the honor of favor. Favor is the attraction of God to you that releases an influence through you so other people are attracted towards you and are wanting to cooperate with you in the assignment God gave you. So the church is about to experience enormous favor for those who are willing to join Jesus in what he's doing next. He's doing something new. How many of you are willing to just pioneer and go on a little journey with Jesus into the unknown? Now, if you go there, there's risk because nobody's there yet. It's unsettled territory. The good news is the Spirit of the Lord has already gone before you. So I work with these entrepreneurs and business people, and the verse that God gave me for them, I'll close out with you because it's a Joshua word. Joshua 1:3. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread, I have already visited and turned over to you. So when you're going into the territory that you've never been in, that you think Jesus is calling you to, by the time you get there, if God has called you to it, he's already gone there. Every place the sole of your foot shall go. It's a weird tense. You shall go, future, God's already been there, reaching out to the past to bring you in. You could say God's into your future to put your face there, and then comes back to the present to tell you where your face needs to go. So, Father, I pray in Jesus' name, this will be a house of extraordinary dreamers and pioneers whose hearts take them into the place Jesus is going. And even though it may not look desolate, and even though it may look unpopulated, even though it may look new and novel, I pray, Lord, that you will give assignments to this house and to the people that come through here, apostolic assignments, and that in this house, multitudes will come back like Annabelle and me, like Matthew, and testify about how the honor of God and the favor of God produce the resources of God to do the will of God in new ways that will cause the occupation of territory on the earth that will glorify Jesus. And I wish to do something else, Pastor Coletti, and I mean this very sincerely. You know, at my age, I've got all these churches. I've been on boards. I've been in church boards. I've been, I work. But, I happen to be in an unusual place right now, which is a transition place, which is where I'm not sure if I'm supposed to start a work, because I got a global ministry. It keeps me very busy. But I'm going to confess and accept you as my pastor. You are my pastor, Pastor Coletti. And you are officially, if you will receive this, our pastor. You seem to understand my wife. And you're the first person that gets both of us. Some of them get me and they can't figure her out. Some of them get her and they're nervous about me, but you get us both, so you get us both. Thank you.
Did you enjoy this latest episode? Please remember to share it with your friends, because the more knowledge you have, the better equipped you are to navigate the world.
People ask me, is it wrong to worry about my finances? And what about money? I just don't know what to do about it, because isn't money the root of all evil, Lance? Well, that's not entirely true. 1 Timothy chapter 6 says the love of money is the root of all evil. So no, it's not sinful to be concerned about your finances, and money is not the real problem. It's your relationship to money. I'm Lance Wallnau, a Christian author and evangelical leader to over 1 million people who are just like you, folks that are worried about what's happening in the country, worried about their finances, and worried about their children. Many of the people that follow me are seeing record inflation destroying the value of their retirement savings, and they're concerned about their future. And they ask me what I suggest they do. I recommend you diversify your 401k or IRA or whatever you have into physical gold, an IRA physical gold from Birch Gold Group. Now, to see how that works, just text the word FAITH, F-A-I-T-H, to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold IRAs. That's FAITH, F-A-I-T-H, to 989898 to get a free info kit. There's no strings attached. You can take that action right now, and I pray that you're blessed with continued peace of mind. You're going to have that peace of mind when you take action. Text FAITH to 989898, and you'll begin the journey to peace.